What is it with Democrats and lying on their mortgage applications? Allegedly, of course, at this point, obviously. Another person, this one appointed by Biden to the Federal Reserve Governors Board, has been referred to the DOJ for the exact same thing Adam Schiff and Letitia James are being investigated for. And the left, who cheered on, totally erroneous lawfare against Trump for, the better part of the last decade. They are apoplectic over actual, legitimate investigations.
This is a new line of attack against Democrats from this administration.
New line of attack? I hate this about the left. We have the documents that show these people simultaneously claimed primary residence in two places at the same time. They haven't been convicted of anything, but anyone above a third grade reading level can see what is going on here. It's not a line of attack. It's you guys wanted to play this game. You weren't squeaky clean yourself. And now this is happening. Lisa Cook is now also facing a call from Trump, obviously, to resign in the midst of this. Now, to me, this is just another reason to completely abolish the Federal Reserve today and pretty much any other day that ends in Y, because it's neither a federal agency nor does it actually have any money in reserves. But I digress. But for this woman, of course, the left is screaming, wait for it, racism. She was the first black woman ever appointed to the Fed board. Great. Who cares? So does that absolve her of being investigated for apparently lying on a mortgage form? No. This woman is now the third Democrat to be exposed for potentially lying on a mortgage application. According to the Housing Finance Agency Director, Bill Pulte, who we've had on this program, they believe Cook falsified bank documents and property records in order to have more favorable loan terms. Here's the receipts. This is not hard to track down either. June 28th, 2021, she took out a $203,000 mortgage on a property in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now, the loan was conditional that she would occupy the property as her primary residence for at least 1 year. But 2 weeks later, she took out another mortgage for $540,000, 700 miles away on a Georgia property with the same stipulation to be the primary residence. How can you live in two places at the same time? You can't. Keep in mind, Letitia James, who is also being investigated for the exact same thing, has scrutinized the Trump kids' business activity in New York, even beyond the lawsuit that she brought against them. Look, she's been looking into these guys because they now claim primary residence in Florida because they got the hell out of New York because of her. But they still do business in New York. And you know that if she thought for half a second that she could prove that they spent 6 months and a day in New York rather than in Florida, she would prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law for falsifying primary residence documents. You know it. And let me tell you, look, I am friends with these guys. I know for a fact that they make double sure that they spend well over 6 months and a day in Florida and not in New York for that reason. So it's just so crazy to me that these lips, 3 and counting, with allegations of lying on mortgage forms and potentially falsifying loan documents, thought they could get away with this. It's the greatest irony of all here, too, is that one of these women, the one I'm talking about now, who recently voted to keep interest rates high, meaning did not want Americans to have lower mortgage rates, may have lied on a mortgage form to get a lower mortgage rate. Pulte noted this.
This lady, I don't understand how she can be in charge of setting interest rates for our country, and here she is potentially lying on her applications to get better interest rates.
Now, here's what gives Trump a lot of leverage here. We know he's been looking for ways to pressure and influence the Fed to lower interest rates. We already had one woman abruptly step down, which allows Trump to appoint someone that will be friendly to his economic plan. This could be a second. And this is making libs super nervous right now because they want interest rates high to hurt Trump's economy, which maybe they don't realize this, or maybe they just don't even care. It's like TDS on the 9th degree. That would hurt all Americans, but, they don't care. But according to the Banking Act of 1935, quote, the president shall fix the term of successor to such member as to not exceed 14 years, unless sooner removed for cause by the president. Keyword there, for cause. If Pam Bondi decides to investigate this woman, which she hasn't formally opened yet, I believe that would constitute for cause. Yes, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. However, in government jobs, you can be fired for the loss of faith by the executive, which would be a cause.
If you commit a crime and you have a reasonable suspicion that somebody's committing a crime, that is cause. I mean, I don't know what cause is if that's not cause.
Also, I mean, look, this woman was appointed. Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote to get this woman on the Fed. It was 50-51, all right? She was not that popular. Also, this is not at all, like, they are, look, they're probing another property she has in Massachusetts, too, right now. So this is not like an isolated incident. We don't have any further info, but we'll get it. But you want to know why people hate politics? It's because of stuff like this. Now, I explained the other week that New York, they slid in like a cool $10 million into their budget and their state budget from taxpayers to cover potential legal fees for Letitia James should she have any, legal battle with Trump. But Schiff, who is, he's only a few weeks ahead of this Fed governor's case right now himself. He has now filed a political committee to pay for his legal fees, which got me thinking. I said to myself, now, look, I've run for Congress once or time because I'm pretty familiar with these campaign finance laws. So I said, I don't think you can do this. And a quick little internet search, sure enough, I was right. 52 U.S. Code 3114, Section B, Part 1. Quote, a contribution or donation described in subsection shall not be converted by any person to personal use. It goes on in Part 2. A contribution or donation shall be considered to be converted to personal use if the contribution or amount is used to fulfill any commitment, obligation, expense of a person that would exist irrespective of the candidate's election campaign or individual duties as a holder of federal office. Now, Schiff's political fund is a tax-exempt organization under the FEC. Buying these homes and claiming you lived in both simultaneously was not a political decision. It had nothing to do with your official duties, Adam. Your decision to claim two primary residences in order to obtain more favorable mortgages was not in your official capacity. You could argue that you bought the house because of your official capacity, but not lying on a mortgage form, allegedly. Nor does it have anything to do with your re-election campaign. And I would urge the Justice Department to look further into this as a matter of additional violation of the law.